Okay, picture this. You set your alarm for 5 a.m. every single morning for an entire month. Not just once, and definitely not just on weekdays. We're talking every single day. Welcome to This Explainer, where we're going to unpack exactly what happens when you fully commit to the 5 a.m. revolution. While the rest of the world is literally still asleep, you're forcing yourself out of bed before the sun is even up. Sounds incredibly productive, right? You're probably already thinking about all the amazing things you could knock out with those extra hours.
So let's just dive right into this because it's the big question we all want answered. What actually happens when you wake up at 5 a.m. for 30 days straight? Do you just automatically become vastly more successful? Does it make you magically disciplined and hyper-focused? Or, on the flip side, do you just end up totally exhausted and pretty miserable? Well, today we're breaking down the real, physical, and mental effects of this challenge, all based on the data and the real-world experiences of the people who've actually gone through it.
To really get this, we need to map out the 30-day journey. It breaks down into 3 phases. Week 1 is shock, Week 2 is focus, and Week 3 brings clarity. Now look, that very first morning, it feels amazing. You wake up early, you're highly motivated, ready to change your life. For a brief moment, it honestly feels like you've unlocked some secret level of productivity. But the reality sets in pretty fast. Which brings us to Week 1, the harsh reality.
Because by day 2, your body is completely thrown off. It's a huge shock to your normal sleep cycle. Think about it. If you usually wake up at 8 a.m., dragging yourself out of bed at 5 a.m. is brutal. During those first few days, you're going to feel it. We're talking intense sleepiness during the day, absolutely zero energy, brain fog that feels like thick soup, and yeah, you're probably going to be pretty irritable. That midnight motivation from the night before, it vanishes at 5 a.m. when your bed feels impossible to leave. And honestly, this is exactly where most people throw in the towel. Discipline is literally the only thing you have left.
But if you can just push through that initial shock, we get to Week 2, finding your focus.
Now, what's really interesting about this phase is how your body slowly starts adapting. Suddenly, your mornings feel completely different. The house is completely silent. No noise, notifications blowing up your phone. It's just calm. People use this quiet time for things like exercising, reading, journaling, meditating, or even just mapping out their goals for the day. It's a total game changer because for the first time in a while, you actually feel ahead of the day instead of constantly running behind trying to catch up.
And that brings us to one of the single biggest benefits of waking up early: profound focus. When you strip away all those distractions and the noise just disappears, your brain literally operates differently. By Week 2, things that normally stress you out feel so much less overwhelming. Your procrastination drops way down. Plus, getting out of bed when you said you would, that consistency builds real, undeniable confidence through those tiny, daily victories.
All right, but we need to talk about the sleep catch.
Here is the massive plot twist that nobody talks about in those flashy motivational videos. Waking up early only works if you go to sleep early too. A lot of folks mistakenly think 5 a.m. is a magic pill for productivity. But if you're only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, absolutely not. Let me emphasize that. 4 or 5 hours is not enough. If you try to power through on that, your energy will totally crash, your focus drops to zero, your recovery suffers, and over time, it seriously wrecks your health. Sleep deprivation will literally ruin this whole experiment because, and this is absolutely crucial, the real transformation isn't just waking up earlier. It's building a healthier routine overall. You can't hack biology, guys. If you're getting up at 5, you have to prioritize being in bed by 9 or 10 p.m. A holistic, healthy schedule is the true goal here, not just hitting a trendy wake-up time.
Okay, so assuming you've got your sleep dialed in, we hit Week 3, the mental shift.
By now, your body has adapted, your routine is set, and your mornings are suddenly way less stressful. And because you're getting so much done before anyone else is even awake, the rest of your day is noticeably calmer. During this 3rd week, you'll see incredible improvements: elevated mood, awesome time management, rock-solid consistency, and sharp mental clarity. Oh, and here's a pro tip from the source material. If you pair these early mornings with a good workout, those positive mental benefits become even stronger.
Now, let's keep it 100% real for a second. Not every single day is going to be some highly productive miracle. Some days are just going to drag. You'll be staring at your alarm clock in the pitch black, seriously questioning why you ever started this ridiculous challenge. Getting out from under the blankets can feel like you're tied to a heavy anchor. Cold mornings? Brutal. Rainy mornings? Even worse. And weekends? Oh man, weekends will absolutely test your limits.
And that's because waking up at 5 a.m. when you literally don't have to, that takes discipline. This is exactly where the challenge stops being physical and becomes entirely mental.
You have to shift from relying on motivation to relying on routine. Because let's face it, motivation is a fair weather friend. It's not going to wake you up on a rainy Sunday morning. Successful habits are built on the gritty, unglamorous repetition of a solid routine.
So, what happens when you finally cross the finish line? Let's look at the 30-day truth. Does waking up at 5 a.m. magically make you highly successful?
So, the crucial point is this. 5 a.m. itself is not magical. Your habits are. Let that sink in. That's a truth bomb most people completely ignore. Dragging yourself out of bed early means absolutely nothing if you're just going to sit there and doom scroll on your phone. The real value of this challenge comes entirely from what you actually do with that extra uninterrupted time.
But for the people who actually use that time intentionally, the final reported benefits after 30 days are immense. We're talking vastly better productivity, improved discipline across all areas of life, and a massive boost in self-confidence from actually keeping a promise to yourself. Those quiet, distraction-free hours translate into highly tangible life upgrades, like less rushed mornings and far greater mental clarity.
Honestly, the biggest takeaway from all of this is a total shift in perspective. You finally realize exactly how much time you actually have in a single day. Most people don't lack time, they lack structure. When you take control of your morning, you take control of your entire schedule.
So, to wrap this up, we have to ask a very practical question. Is waking up at 5 a.m. strictly necessary for everyone? Absolutely not. No way. Some people's biological clocks just naturally function way better later in the day. And, like we talked about, getting high-quality sleep is always going to be more important than forcing yourself into some early morning trend.
The point of understanding this whole experiment isn't to just blindly copy-paste someone else's schedule. The goal is to create a routine that helps you perform at your absolute best. The real value of the 5 a.m. challenge is testing your personal limits. It shows you exactly what happens when you become incredibly intentional with your time instead of just letting the day happen to you.
Because every single time you push back those covers in the pitch dark, you're making a powerful choice. Waking up earlier doesn't just change your mornings, it fundamentally changes your mindset. So I want to leave you with this question to really think about. Will you choose discipline over comfort? Every intentional morning makes you just a little bit stronger. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.